Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Inferno, what could be the deciding map between UFC and GX. Keep in mind, GX did just take Cobblestone over UFC on UFC's map pick, so it adds to the waters that is complicated at the moment.
I'm excited to see what UFC is going to be able to do here on Inferno. It looks like it's going to be a fast B play to start things off from GX. Look at the shots coming out from Cutler and Kusta. Sit down. It's a round for Unemployed for Christmas. They completely obliterate that B attempt. GX gets wiped away, and it will be UFC to start things off very strong in the pistol.
Well, that's gotta hurt. When a team comes out swinging like that, now how do you assume they're gonna play? What's the pace gonna be like? You said it on the T side, and up the CTs will come out like that, come out swinging. How do you bring it back? Reel in the pace, and you get to depict it. It looks like UFC's really not gonna let up. Aggressive A apps is Ricks. Has support from Cutler at a moment's notice. But it looks like UFC are willing to give up banana. They know how deadly the pistols can be if they get up close and personal. And that's one place that can happen nice and early. As UFC are both players from UFC are sitting very far back on the B site.
Kusa playing second orange, his teammate playing pillar, Ethan in back sight. He'll be able to spot the first one, the second as well as they come into the site. Kusta's going to get a couple of kills as well. He's getting involved in the action. It's all down on Pollo now. He's got a CZ, and he's managed to make it into construction. As he opens up that CZ-75, goes for a fresh magazine. It'll be him versus the world, and unfortunately, in this case, the world wins. Ethan will get one more kill. He'll add to the tally. That's 4 on the round. UFC shuts it down again on B. No bomb plant for GX, no bonus cash. That means coming into the next round, the money will be a little bit light, as it should be a full save here.
One flash, a P250, something to give them some kind of chance into this round. But ultimately, we're looking at the clean 3-0 start. And we're pretty much as clean as you can get. Only losing 2 players in 3 rounds. Ideal. Those nades, just off the mark, but Exotic's going to follow it up, and he actually loses that fight to a Glock of all things. Ethan's nade has better success, as Kusa finds one more, 5 bullets, not bothering to reload, hoping Swag would take this peek, and he actually gets punished for it. And Swag nearly gets the dink on Ethan, instead he falls. UFC only lose 2 players, those are SMGs, not the biggest of deals. 3-0 for UFC. GX now will settle into the AKs.
In that first series, we talked about the awkward nature of opping on the T side of Inferno. Now, that won't be a problem here that they have to worry about, but it is something to consider that should be playing in the back of everyone's mind right now. They do have double op potential on the T side of GX with Swag and Whitmer both being capable of holding it. That's what they did on their CT side of Cobble there towards the end. It looks like GX is going to be grouping up towards alt mid, a dedicated A take potentially coming in. It's very early in the round, so there's a possibility for either a re-execute or a fake. But smokes have been lined up and they've been thrown out early. They've still got Dapper lingering back by B. He was putting damage down range, or at least attempting to. Looks like he was more on the receiving side than the giving side. However, look at the grouping right now. 3 players grouping up in apartments. There's the chimney flash to lead them in. Whitmer's going to straight jump out. He'll get the first one. There's one more trying to play inside the site, but there's the collapse from the CT side. They crush it. It falls onto Swag in the 1v3. They couldn't manage to get the kill on the player pit or the guy in sight. In fact, neither one takes any damage. The fact that Cutler gets a 3K from behind default box without getting hit once is impressive. And it's a strong start for UFC again. That felt like the pistol round all over again. Just GX getting slaughtered by UFC.
What was really awkward about that round is Exotic had full trust on player's sight and pit, but it took 2 members of GX shooting at Exotic, whose back was turned and looking at Boiler, to kill him. Whitmer jumped out and started spraying at him. It took someone else to jump out behind Exotic to finish the kill, and then the player pit peaked, and then the player default swinged. And then from there on, it was just easy pickings for UFC. Now GX, upgraded pistols, not feeling too confident. You're getting kind of run all over currently, as UFC are given a chance to really push their money up early. Hasn't really come to fruition yet on Ethan, Ricks, and Exotic, but Cutler and Kuster are rich. They can go on a vacation if they wish. As Exotic's going to follow back after missing a shot towards mid, he'll hold arch side. He'll even get a little bit of help from Ethan.
GX just kind of grouping up in mid right now. Holding angles, waiting if they can find a pick. If they do decide to go towards A, it wouldn't be a good idea. There's a lot of bodies here for the CT side. Count them 1, 2, 3, 4. The only player over towards B is Kusta. Ethan's going to fall back. He hears the flashbangs coming out, so he's going to hold back on arches a little bit further. Rix from the balcony will get the first one. Struggles to find the second, but there's the nade to finish off the damage that was dealt early to Dapper. AZK's made it into sight, but again, Cutler is here with this AK. He's there to shut it down. Kusta will catch one as they try to get across mid. That's Swag dying. And now it's all up to Whitmer. Whitmer hits a nice shot onto Kusta, actually, with 5 HP. Limited potential, but certainly can be damaging to the money. And there's actually a chance he could run B and get this bomb planted. It would require Exotic to rotate very fast. A missed shot on the cross could potentially give Whitmer the opportunity to get the bomb planted default.
Is Exotic willing to just hold the cross? There's the smoke. And Exotic going to push through to deny the plant. Oh, Whitmer jumps up. Spotted. Exotic happened to have his pistol out, and one bullet is all it takes, no matter where it landed. Unfortunate for Whitmer. 5-0 for UFC. GX, no bomb plant, not the biggest deal, although Whitmer would have utility behind this op. Instead, it is an op with armor, no utility. AZK will buy up an AK. He'll have full utility. So all in all, 4 players full utility. AK is up. Still extremely deadly, but it's a hot start for UFC.
Yeah, UFC is looking strong right now with that 5-0. We'll see if this is the turning point for GX. If not, things could get ugly real quick. As it was a very close map in that first series on Cobble. It went back and forth for a while. It was 8-7 at the half. GX won, the first 4? Made it 12-7, then UFC started to bring it back. Ended up going to overtime. But this is not the same map that we saw map 1. It almost looks like 2 different teams with the way that UFC is playing right now. It's as if a fire is burning beneath them. And GX, that fire's gone out a little bit. That overtime may have exhausted them just a bit. Exotic, holding the line towards Boiler. We've got the bomb sitting in alt mid. It's split apart right now, 3-2. Right now, GX is just kind of feeling things out. This is standard for Inferno. There's no dedication early on, just trying to figure out what it is the CT side's doing with their defense.
Molly under porch, falls back. Bomb. Bottom banana. As Whitmer will be given time to find a pick, but with 42 seconds, not much time remains for him to do so. Did he spot the toes of Kusta? He didn't. He certainly knows he came through on the back of that flash, and they're going to go on this pick. Whitmer picks up the M4, tries to be the entry, but it's Ethan. They're trying to lock it down, and all of a sudden, Ethan has 2 and a 3rd through the smoke. Great hold from Ethan. From being flashing his teammate through and being absolutely alone to come up with 3 is massive, as Poyo is nowhere near Dapper, who has to stay alive and wait for Poyo to come all the way around. As Dapper will settle into his new home, single pillar, knowing his teammate will have sight of the bomb from Banana. As smoke will go out, Dapper will hold. Rick starts to walk up. Flash goes in, doesn't catch Dapper, but he's working around the pillar beautifully. A 1-for-1 as Poyo strikes, he finds Cutler. Keep in mind there's still a smoke in front of this bomb. Exotic is sticking this. Poyo has to take shots, and he will. They'll land. GX pick up the round, pick up the op, and finally they put one up on the board.
I was a little worried when you looked at that smoke because it was really further back from the bomb. So I thought, actually, that Exotic was peeking through on the other side. So, in my mind, I'm thinking Exotic's sticking this, but he can be seen easily from Banana. It didn't appear to be the case from GoTV, but it obviously could have been the case for Poyo. Who knows? Client-side smokes are always just a little bit different than what we see in GoTV because, esports ready. It is 5-1 here. UFC still able to buy. They're going to be able to bring the op into play. Exotic's going to be putting that one into apartments this time. They've got Cutler nestling up inside the cubby. They've got a 2-man hold, like a bunk bed stack setup. Kusta on the bottom, Ethan on top, over towards second orange. And then where's the last player? It's Rix, who's backing him up long haul. It's really interesting with the way they're setting this up. 2 players in both positions, long haul and second orange, kind of gambling heavily to both positions that they're not going to double check. They'll expect one, maybe not the second. But they're not really positions that benefits you. It's not like New Box, where they don't anticipate 2 players being New Box.
Well, this stack gives them a lot more room for activities. That's Whitmer. Is holding for the peak. He's going to go on another flash, I imagine. But it looks like they're worried about a push coming down. UFC been very aggressive. So they're very cautious, is GX. As Whitmer won't spot the player second orange, just now knows. As Rix catches a fluker towards A, Whitmer goes alone. So disjointed as the bomb is still bottom mid. They've given time for Poyo to find Rix, but now what? You've lost A apps control. Exotic just peeked mid and find Dapper. You're so separated, and with 30 seconds, what does Poyo and AZK do here?
And this is the problem. They exchange kills for 0 map control. It comes down to 1. It's just AZK who's moving up arch side. He's got to worry about the player in sight and 1 more in library. The flashbang's going to go out, and they've already spotted him. They know he's moving up. They're just telling Exotic to hide since Ethan's got the backstab. That's a reset round for Unemployed for Christmas. It's a big one, too. It's going to set the GX boys back down to almost no cash. Whitmer's on 2,700. He's the high roller right now. So it should be probably a force buy followed by a full save for GX. I would expect probably something fast towards B or apartments with a pop flash to potentially get the bomb down. Here's what we talked about on that last map. They buy an AK, and they throw it in the hands of the player they feel is best equipped to handle it. So in this instance, that's Poyo, who's, I guess, got the hot hand right now, top fragging for the T side. So they do force up, but Whitmer sacrifices almost everything, trades it for a Deagle. He's an armorless Deagle, and they've given Poyo that power to potentially open up the round.
Oh, the pistols making it interesting. Exotic, no fears. He just continues to repeat these pistols, knowing he had support coming down. Kusta, 7-1 UFC, GX. I mean, that question still hangs there unanswered. I really like that skin, by the way, the Empress. That looks clean.
It's expensive.
Is that factory new as well?
I have no idea. It's expensive skin.
Is it?
Yeah.
What are we talking?
Oh, I don't know. I don't worry about skins. I just know it's expensive. if I get an expensive skin, to me that's like $5. I'm like, sweet, free $5. I'm gonna go sell that. Yep. I don't really care about skin. I got a knife that was worth a lot of money once. They bought me a new monitor, motherboard, and keyboard.
Jeez, that's a bit ridiculous. This cutler is gonna make almost as much money as all that's worth with this MP9 USP combo. 8-1. You cashed out on that skin, didn't you? Wow, that's the more you said. When you said that, I was like, huh.
Second ever minimal wear. No, factory new StatTrack M9 bayonet Doppler. It was the second one ever unboxed.
Damn.
It was worth 12. It was worth 12 when I unboxed it, but I couldn't get a buyer. Price dipped down to like $650 when I sold it. But still, I'm like, didn't really cost me anything. I sold skins to buy the key that got the knife.
Yeah.
So
the way of like full circle is Whitmer. One-man armying mid right now. He swings on Louis B, and this is Dapper, who was able to bring it back with 2 quick kills. That pre-fire and Kusta nearly connected to his dome. As the CT's pushing, this time get trumped. It's Exotic and Kusta. And can the young gun hold A by himself? That's the question. Jumping up onto the box with his op. Is able to land the first shot. Knows there's a couple other players close, but Poyo, the balcony peek is too strong as it's Kusta. Main op. IGL rifle and Unemployed. Can he win this 1v2?
He's already spotted the first player over in pit. He knows there's one more in sight. He's able to make sight of AZK. Catches a glimpse, but AZK is dodging things. He's getting dinked left and right. He's been dinked through the box, then dinked through the wall. AZK and Poyo play that one well, working with one another, trading shots back and forth in both directions, constantly keeping his head bouncing between both targets. The CT side still got money again because of the fact that they've been able to win 3 in a row, keeping some bodies alive. But it is 8-2, and the T side's got to find something soon. They've got to start chaining rounds together, try to break the cash of the CT side to make this manageable. There is a chance that this ends 8-7 if GX can somehow break the cash and chain a couple rounds together, but it's got to start right here naturally.
They'll exchange mollies. Dapper will one-up them with a smoke. As GX are looking to get towards AAPS, and this is the first time that GX may be actually fighting in AAPS. It's Exotic's op. It's completely posted, and Rix. And Rix gets caught with a nade out, so the plan was there. The op holds, gets one, and Rix gets the second, but Exotic, he needs no man. He's able to get 2 of his own. But Whitmer, in the meantime, has taken advantage of this and has worked his way to Arch. Is Exotic going to be ready for Whitmer to be in this cubby? It comes down to the peak. Perhaps he's waiting for a flash from a teammate. There it is, and he'll hit another one. That's his third. Exotic with an op is certainly a sight to behold, as it's Dapper and Swag, and they have negative map control and just completely no utility. They're going to need a hope and a prayer and a couple to 2 clean kills to really get back in this round.
Dapper is trying to sneak his way up into B. The question is whether or not he can really get too far. Even if he kills Kusta, there should be a quick trade out from Ethan. Because as soon as he comes around this corner, Ethan's going to be right there to put 2 in the back of his skull. And there you go. That's exactly what we were talking about. Ethan will actually get both kills there. Kusta had lit up Dapper enough so that he gets the assist. And UFC do what GX didn't want to happen. They reset them yet again. GX has been able to get 2 rounds. The first one came in round 6, and the second one came in round 10. And they keep losing in the round that follows. They weren't surviving with great numbers in those instances either. Round 6, it was Pollo who was left alone in a 1v1. And there was 2 players who survived in round 10. So round 11, they get reset. The money's all over the place. Again, they go back to the same thing we saw from them before. 1 player on an AK, the rest on pistols, and it looks like they're just going to be running fast towards B.
Oh, Ethan jump spots this. Through the molly, they will go the gauntlet of fire as Kusta drops an aid to slow them. He's calling for help. He gets to new box. And he's actually going to pop a flash and try to fight, but it's AZK to say goodnight. As this bomb should get planted momentarily. Cutler gets to construction in a decent amount of time. And he has teammates here as well. Exotic, good name it onto Whitmer. Certainly should open them up to this.
It's just a full scrim B that totally works for GX. Now they're trying to get back into the site by boosting up Cutler over top of the smoke. He can't see AZK, but they spam it anyway, and Rix is going to pick up the kill. There's a lot of damage dealt to these remaining players. There's still possibilities here. The nades are coming out. They've still got a couple of smokes as well. They could just smoke off everything and try and get back into the bomb site. The flank comes through, but Swag gets turned on by Exotic. Great shot. Dapper backside towards Dark Spot. He actually lines up his own teammate.
Oh my god, how did he?
He kills 3 and he kills Pollo. Rix is able to get the defuse. That's just the perfect round to kind of sum up the half for GX. Even when everything goes right, everything also goes wrong.
The craziest, was Pollo water or was he CT?
I didn't even see him. I have no idea. I just saw him die. I wasn't sure if he came up CT and a stray bullet hit him.
I think so.
Hardball.
He was spraying through the bodies, and I think Pollo was either water or CT. That's so unlucky. Can't believe it. And now they're pretty much reset late in the round. It's going to be 14 when they get rifles out. It's 11-2. That's not a good look.
I mean, they go back to the same thing they did before. It's fast play. This time it's through apartments. Exotic misses the shot. It's a rare miss because this dude's been on a heater the whole match. This time, though, it's Whitmer who gets the best of him, and they'll be able to push up a little bit further to get that bomb site control. Too little, too late, potentially. They've gotten bomb site control. They've gotten it planted as well. Kusta and Ethan might be thinking, you know what, let's just save here. But with a 10-2 lead, why bother? You can still do a little bit of damage, and they do. They actually cook AZK backside. Whitmer's trying to go up on top of the railings there in pit/graveyard to try and find an advantage. Ethan with the great shots over top of the boxes. Somehow he can't get a bullet to line up with Pollo's head. So at least he takes it down to 2. They whittled the numbers down just a little bit smaller, but GX do find their 3rd round.
Well, they make me eat my words swiftly, don't they? I said it would be 11-2. Now it's 10-3. And they'll get the op in Whitmer's hands. And with such a big lead, I figured UFC would just buy here regardless. But you know what? Very reserved. Rix is the only one that was broke. He buys all the way down. His teammates stay in a respectable hovering average of about 2,800, 2,700. And they'll get a buyout on the final round. So very reserved from UFC.
Man, that round that we just saw, I'm still thinking about that round with Dapper spraying him down and killing his own team. Gave me flashbacks to ROG Masters when Else was in a 1v1. I think it was against Rix. And he accidentally tried to strafe jump to peek into the site, and he landed on the ladder on Nuke and fell down heaven and died. It was like one of those moments you couldn't do it on purpose. But it's okay. GX has sort of rebounded. They did pick up a round, and they look like they might grab another. The money for the CT side is a little erratic. Rix has managed to get himself an AK. He drops a smoke in pit. Right now, there's a player in CT spawn. That's Dapper, who catches Cutler trying to rotate over. There's still one more in Speedway. He'll be able to hear the footsteps of this player in spawn. But Dapper actually puts a smoke down Speedway. That prevents Kusta from really being too much. And he'll be able to catch him on the other side of it as well. So it is going to be a round for GX. Rix should really just save this AK. There's no sense going for it.
That's exactly his case, or should I say, plan of action. He'll hold on towards the AK. Molly and Flash, plus his armor. Maybe make a friend with Chicken. Come on, Rex. Everyone needs a friend. Go quickly E on the cute little guy. Whose decision was it to put chickens in apartments anyway? You know they're filthy creatures, by the way.
Who, chicken?
Yeah.
Yeah, they carry salmonella.
Yeah, they're very filthy.
Yeah, very, very filthy.
If you've ever had the pleasure of cleaning out a chicken coop, you feel stuffed from all the, I forget what it's called. Don't I seem smart?
Chickens are like lizards with feathers. They're just like bacterial cesspool.
Never been a fan of anything that's not human.
Not even dog?
I'm a Kappa guy. I can live with cats and dogs. That's it. Don't put a snake or a lizard or a gecko or a bird in my face, because, like, nah.
I thought you were going to say you were anti-dog. I was
No.
going to say, sweet, can we get another caster in here? How can you hate dogs?
You can't hate dogs.
You got to be a special kind of person to at least... You got to at least like cats if you don't like dogs, or the other way around. I feel like you either like one or the other. You don't hate both. If you do, you're just a communist.
Fair. Poyo. Smoke off towards the arc side. Whitmer wanted to go for mid-pick, but that smoke will keep him at bay for now. An exotic not on the op. The M4 to close out this half. He'll be playing underneath porch, and it looks like GX will give up on the kind of play towards banana. We'll group up here towards the A site. That molly. We'll make Poyo back it up just a little bit. As AZK is preparing to try to find some kind of entry. Waiting for the chimney flash, I imagine, from a teammate. There it goes. It'll bounce. It'll pop. Rix is full blind. AZK is out. Looking to fight towards sight is AZK, but he needs help. He needs players to jump out. They're all getting slaughtered, and it's Dapper. 1v5 needs to ace. Bomb is down. 35 seconds. Should be dead here. Yes, you will be. 11-4. Superb half for UFC.
It really is a fantastic first half. I'm very pleased with what we saw from UFC in that first half. 7-round lead. You know, we talked about it coming into this series, and even in that last series as well, how Inferno is one of the more even maps. So far, scorelines would say elsewise. Like, they've been looking horrendously one-sided, at least so far tonight. Unemployed for Christmas. Making a good stand here on Inferno. GX looking very weak. What's the third map in this series?
Cash. That could be interesting, huh?
So we had the same map pool for both series?
We did.
In the same order?
In the same order.
That's strange.
Makes you think. We'll think about it during this ad break. We'll be right back.
My name is Tim the Tab Man. I use CyberPowerPC powered by Intel.
Let's go!
Welcome back, aliens and humans. We appreciate you for waiting throughout the ad break. Back into the action we go, UFC versus GX. And it's a pretty big hill for GX to come back on. Keep in mind, this is their map pick. And we may see aggression right out of the gate. 3 members, Box, running down mid like they don't care.
It's not unheard of to see this in a pistol round, actually. see a lot of teams kind of throw out this gamble, especially in lopsided halves. Usually it's when you're up, though, not when you're down. It's kind of setting a precedent in the second half that, you know, we're going to steamroll you. But it didn't really appear to work out the way that I think GX intended it to. It still has brought the numbers down to a 3-on-2, and Dapper has the flank potential onto Ethan, but Ethan's watching it, so Ethan turns back around after he hears the door open. It will be a 2-on-2 here for GX and Unemployed for Christmas. And UFC have the ability to go towards the A bomb site if they so choose. It looks like GX is going to be stacking their chips in the B basket. And they've sent one already far down towards Banana. That'll be Whitmer, who's kind of peering towards T stairs. The good thing for him is the bomb's actually on the other side. So the bomb now has to cross based on the decisions made by Ethan. Whitmer peeks out, gets gunned down. False sense of security. They assume this B site's clear. Swag's able to get back behind the wall, and he's quietly sneaking back in sight. Please don't peek. Please don't peek. Being played out over and over again in his head.
Oh, he made it back here. Did Ethan just spot his arm? Oh, they did.
I think they saw him. They saw him 100%.
Now it comes down to timing. They're both going to peek at the same time, and Kusta finds it. Was that a hot 2v3?
Yes.
Brought that one back. I mean, that was risky from Whitmer, right? I mean, granted, the only map control you have is B. Last time you spotted UFC was towards mid, so Whitmer going down there, sacrificing himself to kind of either get a 1-for-1 or set up Swag for some kind of play. Just, it's a shame the gun barrel just stuck out for Swag. Now UFC are just in the driver's seat, and they're so close to the finish line. It's going to be 14-4 before rifles can come out from GX. It's going to be a long haul now. Even longer without that pistol.
Although the spam currently coming out through long hauls, there's actually no one there right now. GX is stacking up heavily on the right side of mid. Swag is there with a scout. There's two right beside him, both of which with CZs. It's AZK and Poyo. The other player on A, Whitmer's, cycled back around watching Moto to see if they come out of long haul because they currently have no apartment control whatsoever. They also only have one player B. So Dapper's in a problematic situation if they were to decide to go there. Now, if you look at the angle that Dapper's peeking right now, he can actually see out of the corner of his eye if a player crosses, and he'll be able to make the call. And there you go. But it actually looks like Dapper. Yeah, there you go. Almost looked like he wasn't going to react for a second. Was playing anti-flash for a moment, but a little longer than I expected. The pistols still start firing away, and Dapper's able to get one. His teammate tries to help. Whitmer goes down. And it looks like this T side's probably going to fall back off of this one as the CT side has completely rotated over. Or maybe they'll just slow things down, make them think they're going back A, rededicate themselves to the B bomb side.
Yeah, Cutler was holding for flank, so they knew no one from GX was quick flanking. So now they feel comfortable re-executing. Dapper may come through the smoke. A little team damage never hurt anyone. Excuse me. This Dapper gets one, but it is just Swag and Poyo. Just the scout, nearly, and I mean nearly off the mark for Swag. And there's Poyo and Swag. One has armor, Swag just the scout. These players are heavily tagged, so the scout will one-shot everyone. As Poyo will be his backup, but it comes down to if UFC are going to peek these.
Swag spots him in the dark spot, but there's one on top of the box that they didn't anticipate. Kusta and Cutler with the good combination of the Galil and AK. GX again gets shut down, and it's 13-4 as the T side looks like they're going to be waltzing their way to a 14-4 before GX first buy comes in. And at that point, you know, it's not really much separating UFC from victory. GX has decided to call a tactical timeout. And if I'm being honest, it's about time. I don't know what took them so long. That first half was not pretty. They've got 4 tactical timeouts to use. Would have loved to see them use one sooner in that first half, potentially.
What if they're talking about cash? Definitely not. But it's certainly, you're right, it came a bit late. I would have liked to have seen it when they got reset after they won that rifle round. Maybe just be like, all right, what just happened? Yeah, no, it's way too late. Yeah, as I said, it's going to be 14-4 before rifles come out for GX. UFC are just sitting pretty. Mac 10s are here to farm cash, run out first. Cutler, you can see he only buys a nade. So he's going to be the man to go out first. Take the bait, take the shots, clear out any sites for stacks. And it's this 3-man mid-push again for mid-GX.
It should be pretty easy for them to slaughter this, as they do pick them apart one by one. Even the Mac 10 at long range is able to rip apart Whitmer. It's the last kill on the round. GX only finds one with the stack towards mid. kind of saw it coming with the way they were pain training towards mid, that they were just going to rush down with the USPs. Just get it over as fast as possible so we can move into that first buy. Now, Whitmer doesn't really have enough cash to come into this round, so he has to go down to an ump. The rest of the team on pretty light utility, which is definitely a problem on Inferno. It's a map that is dictated by economic control and utility control. So without the utility, the CT side has a hard time controlling the clock, which is necessary on that B-bomb side.
Great flash over to allow Ethan to just straight up peek it with his MAC-10. Swag kills Poyo. But Swag still living a good nade, but Ethan, the drive-by, will remove Swag, who technically got 2 kills, one being on his teammate that round. Cutler, unlucky spray onto Whitmer, as it saves GK in a 1v3, and he too will get sprayed through his smoke. 15-4. I see cash on the horizon. GX's pie, let's just say it's minimal, as UFC are looking to just take a dominating stance here on GX's pick.
Here's something. One, Poyo's been team killed twice.
Poor guy.
That sucks. Both times they had a team kill, it was him. The other thing to consider, Dapper and Poyo are young players, and I've seen Dapper play on LAN. I have never seen someone tilt harder in my entire life than I have him. I mean, this is a player who is very emotional in round. The reason I bring this up, they don't have dazed anymore to calm him down. So I'm curious to see how this will affect GX in their next map, because it does look like we're going there right now. It's down to 2, and now just 1. It's Swag with the scout. He's going to try a pop flash. It's actually well thrown, but realistically speaking, he doesn't have the proper gun for this. He's peeking out, looking to do a bit more damage, and they're just going to hold mouse 1 and wait for him to run into it. 16-4. UFC dominates GX. And again, I'm looking back at that tilt factor now, and I'm concerned what's going to happen to this GX roster moving into that next map.
Well, the next map is going to be Cash, and I mean, honestly, can they compose themselves for this? Again, another even-ish map in the sense of the Puggy styles, especially with UFC. Probably won't have too much structure, be a lot of defaults, a lot of contacts called. So it's on GX to really come out with that structure, with that security blanket that they have, a practice to make a difference. I'm excited to see if that's actually gonna happen, or if we'll have another one-sided kind of tilt.
I mean, I think that's the ultimate concern: is GX gonna tilt? Is UFC gonna come out swinging again? Is that second map gonna really propel them forward on Cash? We don't really know what to expect from one side because things are a lot different. We don't really have a whole lot to look for from this UFC. Yes, you can make the argument that it's XCLG, but is it really? It's some of XCLG with some subs who are holding their own, yes, but not exactly the team that we've come to know and love as the former CLG roster.
Well, all our questions will have answers, rather. After this quick break, we'll come back with the final map of this BO3 between UFC and GX. Sit tight, it's Cash.